She was just an INTERN, but her mistake saved a life. The first mistake was made by the doctor. Dr. Phillips had been doing this job for more than 30 years now, and he felt like there wasn't anything new under the sun when it came to this job. That is why when a patient came in with a bump in their colon, he did not think much of it. He had seen that many times before. Most of them were cancerous, and some were not. There was only one way to find out for sure if the bump was malignant or not, and that was through a colonoscopy. When the woman heard those words, she was devastated. She had no idea that she needed such a procedure. As she lay on the hospital bed, her intern would insert the scope into her rectum. It was all going well until the intern made a terrible mistake. Usually, doctors use the forward view when they are doing colonoscopies. This is because they can see the entire view of the colon through the camera. However, on this day, the intern used the side view instead. And although the doctor was present and should have noticed this, he didn't. After the procedure, the doctor told the woman that her bump was just a growth and not cancer. He even went ahead and removed the growth so she wouldn't have to worry about it anymore. The woman left the hospital feeling happy that she was not going to die from cancer. However, when she got home, she was not feeling well at all. Something was wrong. She called back the hospital, but they said that they couldn't do anything about it. So she decided to go back to work. Meanwhile, the intern was fuming inside. He knew that he had made a big mistake, and he was scared that something bad would happen to the woman because of it. Every time the phone in the hospital rang, he would jump. He was worried that it was the woman calling to tell him that she had died. After 2 days, the phone finally rang. The intern was so scared that he almost dropped it. He let out a deep breath and picked up the phone. It was the woman. Her voice sounded weak. She told the intern that she was in a lot of pain and that she could not take care of herself. The intern immediately apologized and asked for forgiveness. The woman told him that she wasn't angry, but she did want him to know that she was in a lot of pain. She then asked him to come over and help her out. The intern didn't know what to say. He wanted to help her, but he also didn't want to get into trouble. He eventually agreed and told her where he would meet her. On his way to the woman's house, the intern kept thinking about what he had done. He knew that he had made a terrible mistake, but he also knew that he couldn't change the past. All he could do was try to make things right. When he arrived at the woman's house, he was shocked at what he saw. The woman was lying on the floor and she was in a lot of pain. He helped her up and took her to the hospital. When the doctor saw the woman, he was shocked. He had no idea that she was in this much pain. He immediately did a scan on her and found something that he didn't want to believe. The scan showed that the bump in the woman's colon was actually a very rare form of cancer. The cancer was so advanced that it had already spread to her liver. The doctor was horrified. He had made a terrible mistake. He should have never told the woman that she didn't have cancer. He should have told her that she needed to be monitored closely, because the chances of the bump turning into cancer were high. The doctor tried everything he could to save the woman, but it was too late. The cancer was too advanced. The woman died a few days later. The news of the woman's death spread quickly. Everyone was shocked. They couldn't believe that such a healthy woman could die from cancer. The intern was devastated. He knew that he was to blame for the woman's death. He had made a terrible mistake, and he would never forgive himself. However, the doctor was not willing to let the intern take all the blame. He knew that he was also to blame. He should have paid more attention during the colonoscopy. He should have seen the signs that the intern had missed, but he didn't. The doctor and the intern both felt guilty, but they knew that there was nothing they could do to change the past. They could only learn from their mistakes and move on. However, they did not know that someone was watching them and waiting for the right moment to strike. The next day, the doctor and the intern were called into the senator's office. The senator was furious. He demanded answers from the doctor. He wanted to know how his daughter could have died from cancer when he had taken her to the best hospital in the country. The doctor tried to explain what had happened, but the senator would not listen. He kept interrupting the doctor and yelling at him. The intern was terrified. He knew that he was in trouble, but he had never seen the senator this angry. The senator turned his attention to the intern. He looked at him up and down and said, "You are the reason my daughter is dead." The intern could not speak. He was too scared. The senator continued, "I will make sure you never practice medicine again." The intern's heart sank. He knew that the senator was serious. He had seen the look in his eyes. However, just when he thought that things could not get any worse, the senator surprised him. "But I am not going to punish you," the senator said. "Instead, I am going to give you a second chance." The intern looked up in surprise. "What do you mean?" the senator said. "I have spoken to the dean of the medical school. He has agreed to let you enroll in the next semester." The intern's jaw dropped. He could not believe what he was hearing. The senator continued, "This is your chance to make things right. Go to medical school and become the best doctor you can be." The intern was in shock. He didn't know what to say. He was so grateful to the senator, but he also felt like he didn't deserve it. The senator saw the intern's thoughts and said, "I know you feel like you don't deserve it, but you do. You made a mistake, but you admitted to it. You could have tried to cover it up, but you didn't. You are a good person and a good doctor. Don't ever forget that." The intern thanked the senator and promised to make him proud. In fact, he did just that. The intern studied hard and became one of the best doctors in the country. He never forgot the mistake he made, but he also never let it define him. He knew that he could make mistakes, but he also knew that he could redeem himself. Meanwhile, the doctor was still haunted by the incident. He could not forgive himself for not paying attention during the colonoscopy. He knew that he had been negligent and he paid the price. He lost his job and his reputation. He tried to move on, but he could not. He eventually retired from medicine and moved to a small town. As for the senator, he never forgot the intern's kindness. He often spoke about him at public events, urging young people to follow their dreams and never give up. The intern's story became a local legend and inspired countless people. Now, many years have passed since the incident, but it is still remembered by those who knew He may be gone, but his legacy lives on. The most surprising part of the story is that after the senator's daughter died, he started looking for the intern. He wanted to thank him personally for saving his daughter's life. The senator found the intern and offered him a job at his company. The intern was surprised, but he accepted the offer. The senator then introduced the intern to the media and told them about his heroic deed. The intern became an overnight sensation and was interviewed by every major news outlet. He was humble and grateful for the senator's support. However, there was a twist in the tale. After the interviews, the intern received numerous job offers from hospitals and medical centers across the country. He was in demand and could have chosen any job he wanted, but he decided to stay with the senator. He knew that the senator needed him, and he wanted to repay him for his kindness. The senator was touched by the intern's loyalty and offered him a higher position in his company. The intern was flattered, but he declined the offer. He knew that he was not cut out for a corporate job, and that his passion was medicine. The senator respected the intern's decision and offered him a compromise. He suggested that the intern set up his own medical clinic and that he would help him get funding. The intern was thrilled. He had always wanted to open his own clinic, and this was his chance. With the senator's help, the intern opened the most advanced medical clinic in the city. He used the latest technology to diagnose and treat his patients, and he was able to cure diseases that had never been cured before. The clinic became world famous and attracted patients from all over the globe. The intern was successful, but he never forgot the values that the senator had instilled in him. He always put his patients first, and he never gave up hope. Even when there was no hope left, he kept trying and trying until he found a way to save them. He was known as the miracle worker, and people flocked to him when they had no other options left. The intern became one of the richest doctors in the world, but he never forgot where he came from. He regularly donated to charity, and he mentored young doctors who were starting out in their careers. He was a true hero and an inspiration to everyone around him.